Uh-oh. Seems like
Oh,
we back. Seems like we back.
hey. The dynamic duo. Oh, we're back to
Yeah, seems like we
again.
back to the drawing board. That's the fact. Nathaniel Evans, Jeanne Muhammad, podcast IAmTheData, focus on leadership, and systems. So I've been looking at so many different things that's been out here, and how we trying to put all these things together, and force feed things out into our society, even into our personal lives, just to fit into normacies, that actually basically die out. You might have a normacy that might only last for 5 years, and it may affect you for the next 15, 20 years,
Right.
if you're not realizing that it's actually that normacy. So, systems and structures that's in place, that many people actually speak about, is some of the things we're going to talk about today in this podcast. This podcast is all Jeannie ideas, so just know where to point the finger at, just to let y'all know, just so and with that, I'm gonna let Jeannie, introduce herself, and what's going
Oh,
on.
oh, I just love the way you throw me under the bus.
you know,
Hey,
mm,
I am Jeanne Muhammad, your global happiness expert. I am all about facing those challenges that we have in our lives to understand that we can heal from within and overcome whatever challenge we may have, that it is possible to overcome. I firmly believe in that saying, you believe and you achieve. And so I am Jeanne Muhammad, your global happiness
mhm.
expert. And regardless of what Nathaniel just said, we did come up with this together. We are a team.
Oh,
And so if I go
yeah,
down, he's going down with me.
yeah. It's like an 80-20 rule with this topic right here, guys. So I think I selected the out of everything. Everything else is on her. Beauty of life is on her,
Okay,
right?
well, I'm going to say this and how we came up with this topic. I had a birthday. I had a birthday last week, and I turned da da da.
60. 60, guys. She said 60, guys. Yeah, that's it.
No, 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 no. I turned.
No? Oh,
No,
I'm
it
off.
wasn't 60. Come
I'm
again.
off.
Come again.
I'm off. I'm not gonna be able to guess it.
Oh, you can. Oh, okay. Since you cannot guess, I will tell you. I
Okay.
turned 75. 75.
Woo! That is awesome.
That's
That's why the topic came about. Like I told you guys, the beauty of life. 75 years. Beautiful, right? So
yes,
this is a
yes.
great celebration. Her favorite word for 2022 was gratitude, right? So it might bounce over to 2023, but it might be something else. But we got to stay tuned and see what her next, thing for 2023 is going to be.
Well,
But
it
gratitude looks good on her, so that's a great thing.
and gratitude is something that we can just carry on into 2023, but also, in 2023 starting out, I wanted to focus on self-care. I
Oh,
want
see, I was right. I
Yes.
was right. She was just holding the bag and didn't let nobody know what's going on. You know what I mean? But you know me, I'm just start poking out holes and see what's happening, see what comes out of it. See? So self-care is her thing for 2023. So you probably gonna see this all on her social media page, like this self-care with the person jumping in the air, stuff like that. You know what I mean? You know? So, it's just like so many different when you see those self-care posters and stuff like that, you know.
I mean, you might see me doing a little bit. Don't Okay, now don't start, Nathaniel. Don't start. Don't start. That's all I have to say. Do not start.
See somebody at the beach laying down, getting a suntan or something like that. It was like the silk kid under them. You know what I mean? Something.
Oh.
they got
Okay,
mad things,
okay,
right?
everyone, contain yourself. Contain
Yeah.
yourself. Nathaniel is starting this off. Just contain yourself. That's all I have to
No, I
say.
mean,
Contain
yeah, that's
yourself.
true. Yeah. I mean, but it's all under the same thing, right? So we just dealing with we dealing with the
It
beauty of
is.
life. We dealing with the beauty of life, and what that entails. You know what I mean? Like really, in this time, to really think about the beauty of your life, like
Yes.
contemplating on that for a moment. Really taking that in. You know what I mean, and seeing. Is there a start and end, you know what I mean, to the beauty of your life? Is it like, is it free? You know what I mean? Like, is it just a natural, you know what I mean, high for you? Right? When you just bounce up in the morning time, like, I'm up. I got to, what I mean, I got things to do, right? Or is it one of those like, man, I got to get up again. You know what I mean? I was trying to sleep for like another 2 hours, right?
Mhm.
I ain't ready for life today. I really want to just fall back and relax. Life is tap me on the shoulder, but I ain't ready to get up, right? So it's like, looking at what is, that manifestation of what actually brings beauty to your life. You know, is it,
Yes.
like my daughter, she's 12 and she's always talking about her hair and her face, right? Like this is something that she sees as her beauty that she and they be able to identify with, right? And
What is it that she identifies her beauty with?
her hair, her face, right?
Oh,
She loves
okay.
her hair and her face. She always talking about some stuff, new stuff on her face and all type of stuff like that. And she's only 12, so I'm like, imagine when she gets 20, like it's gonna be like serious issues on this in here. But it's just showing that, we have to find something, even though many people might say, oh, it's in vain that you may, focus on your outer beauty, things of that nature. But you have to be able to like attach your light to something that will keep you, you know what I'm saying, abreast through all the trials and tribulations that's actually gonna may and most of the time take place in your life, right?
Right.
So it's
Right.
like, you may go in a group and say, this happened to me, and like 30 people say it happened to me too, right? So, it's things where things is actually gonna happen to many different people in similarities. This is why we're able to create support groups and religions and things of that nature, could be able to identify with one another, you know what I mean, about life and what is that essence that actually life, you know what I mean, projects to us. Like, what I mean,
Right.
what is a story? What is that story that it actually gives us, and what I mean, as a whole,
Right. And
and not
and
and not,
and
yeah.
and and all of us, I feel, may be in different spaces right now in our lives. And some of us may not even at this exact moment be able to identify the beauty of life, because I know that I have not always been able to identify that. Because when I go back in my history, when I go back to the way I was, oh my gosh, when I was 12 years old, Nathaniel,
Mm-hmm.
I was such an insecure person. I felt, I mean, because I had been picked on so much and told so many times how ugly I was.
Mm-hmm.
I felt ugly. I just knew I was ugly. And I didn't really like looking in the mirror. I couldn't look in the mirror and find anything of beauty. You know, I couldn't really, I had never been given any kind of words to say of beauty.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't appreciate my life. I didn't see the beauty in life. And in fact, 12 may have been around the first time that I contemplated suicide. at 12 years old, Nathaniel.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, and it's they say that around, statistics talked about, suicide taking place, around 12 and 13 years old. These are basically like beginning stages of life where, when you actually start adapting your own, what I'm saying, nervous system to actually, create who you are, right? And in that space, what I mean, there's a great era of, nervousness, right? Like you're trying to figure this out. You're trying to fit in. It's like it's like trying to plug in something in the socket at night. You know what I mean? The dark, right? It's like
right,
I know it's here, but I just can't find it, right? So
right,
I don't want to
right,
jump up and get the turn the light on because I know it's here in this area, right? And life is the same way, right? So it's like even at those impressionable ages, right? They talk about children, committing suicide as being bullied in school. That's why the bully movement was so profound because children, age of 10, 11, 12 and up was actually committing suicide because somebody said they was ugly or somebody said they was fat and things of that nature. But then we turn around and we create statues, of Buddha, and we talk about the concept of fat, right? And
mm-hmm.
Buddha was huge, right? He was a
Right,
really big
right,
person, right? So
right.
you never seen a statue of Buddha skinny, right?
That's right.
right, right.
That's
So
right.
you never seen a skinny Buddha, right? So the fact of the matter is that Buddha is worshipped, what I'm saying, in parts of the world, right? Because of the integrity, what I'm saying, and the principles that he stood on, not because he was fat, skinny, or any other, what I'm saying, concept that we use to try to, we try to bottle life, right? Try to make life, what I mean, into a substance that we can, digest easily. So it's
Right,
easy to say a person is this and that because you can easily digest that person if you put that person in your little sports drink,
right,
right?
right,
It's easy for you to debate, oh, that person is only like this. That person is only this. That person is only that. Right? It's easy for
right.
you to do
And
that.
depending on where you reach them in that point in their life, sometimes that's what we're judging on.
Yeah, because there are different, like say we coming into 2023, right? And we only been in the 23 for a couple of weeks, right? But there
Right,
have been people that have actually created some significant differences in their lives from 2022 going into 2023 because they have actually created the notion that their lives are actually important and super essential,
right,
right? From 2022, they might have been going through hell and backwards. They might have been in spaces that they don't want to be in, connected to things that are not really improving them or people that's not really increasing them, and say, you know what, I've come to a point where I have to be able to do the things I need to do for my life,
right,
right?
right.
And I have to tap into the love of me. You know what I'm saying?
That's
It can
right.
be, yeah, it can be, oh, I like to put on makeup. You know, it's better
Do you,
to put on
Nathaniel?
makeup than to commit suicide, right? You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I got a makeup kit, you know what I mean? I ain't going, you know what I mean? But no, I'm only messing around, guys.
No,
But
I know you. I know.
but
I'm
but
just
men
messing
do
with
wear
you.
makeup. Men wear makeup,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
know. I know.
Yeah, men
And so
wear
yeah,
makeup, you
some
know?
men need to wear it. I mean, especially if they got
Yeah, they
certain
put it in the
blemishes.
eyes and stuff like that.
Right. I
Yeah.
know. Uh-huh.
It's a universal thing, man. All these things that we so-called create for one gender is used by all genders, right?
That's right.
Right?
And in
Like
fact, and in fact,
secret is made for women, but I use secret.
but you know what? And even my guardian angel, one of my
Yeah,
angels is named Alex. And Alex can be female, male, whatever I need at the time. That
yeah.
would be
That's right.
Alex. Well,
That's right.
what
That's right.
Alex does. But anyway,
Yeah.
back to grounding. But Alex knows Alex is always with me. But
Mhm.
and I'm not crazy, Nathaniel.
It's a whole other podcast.
That's a whole nother
Right?
podcast.
That's all the podcast topic, you know what I'm saying? Who is
That's right.
Alex, right? So that's it.
But I want to talk about that,
Yeah.
Nathaniel, about where not about Alex, but I want to talk about
Okay.
where we are at any given time in our life, because we are talking about the beauty of life. And sometimes, depending on where we are at any given time in our life, we may not see that beauty,
Yeah,
And go ahead.
Yeah, I'm listening.
No, because I was thinking about the phases in my life that I have gone through to reach where I am today. And I was saying, when I was 12 years old, I was shy and
Definitely.
really
Yeah.
insecure and did not feel like I was worthy. And I was like that really on up through my teen, into my teen years. And
yeah, that's why it's so essential to tap into, something that a quality about you that's for you. You know what I'm saying? That you enjoy.
Right.
You know what I mean? That type of expression, because there's so many things that actually tackle you, especially like when you come to understand about something that you want to do in life. There are thousand and one things that come about and be like, I want your attention too. You got to pay attention to me too. Can you do this? Can you do that? I had a conversation with a person last week, and they were telling me that they basically retired from their job and now they took a part-time job. But before they were saying that I'm able to just relax and chill, and I'm like, okay, so when you get into other spaces, you know what I'm saying, and like you're retired from a job, but you take another one, that's a whole nother element too that's actually introduced, you know what I'm saying, back into your life. But that may only be the case because a person really has a connection to that type of work, have that connection to that type of population. And it's a beauty, it actually turns into a beauty for their lives, something that they really enjoy to do with their lives. So they connect themselves to different movements or occupations or things of that nature. And it just shows how you can't always focus on everything that's not going right. You know what I mean? You got to focus on what's right, you know what I'm saying, about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I got beauty, I can be a model, right? I wasn't able to be a teacher, or I wasn't able to be an accountant anymore. I'm gonna actually try my hand at modeling or acting, or I'm gonna take up something different for my life, because my life has so much value and so much beauty in it that I have to invest in it, right? You know what I mean? So it's like, it's an investment for me to be connected to my life and the things that I enjoy, right? So if I want to go to a certain event, or I want to travel, I want to do it in a way where I appreciate that I actually took the time out to even experience these things. So a lot of times that we don't realize the beauty of us connecting ourselves to things is what keeps us alive. My favorite restaurant, my favorite music, my favorite this, my favorite that, right? These are substances that keep us alive in very trying times. We may be going through economical times, we may be going through divorces, you know what I mean? We may be going through, major losses, you know what I mean, of like family members and things of that nature. So it's essential to find that one element, you know what I mean, that makes a difference, you know what I'm saying, for you. You know what I mean? For you to be able to get through this space, you know what I mean, and carry on, you know what I mean, with life.
And that's
because
where,
we all trying to figure it out.
We all, I talk about a lot about that self-examination and really becoming self-aware. And that's what you're talking about, Nathaniel, understanding self and really getting to know self. And sometimes,
Even if you're not able to do that, because you got a lot of like the people that they say they woke, and they got these spiritual gurus and things of that nature that's telling people, oh, just tap into yourself. And they even in school, and when you're going to college, you always hearing about, you going to human services, stuff like that, you always hearing about Socrates and Aristotle and stuff like that, right? And it's like a trained notion, you know what I'm saying, and how we're instructed on how to live and how to behave, on how to think, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is that even if, because a lot of times when a person becomes aware and conscious, it seems like everything else around them also must become aware and conscious, right? But that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when you become aware and conscious, you're the only one that's aware and conscious. You're the straight eyeball in the room, right? You're the elephant in the room that everybody's talking about, right? And being that that's the case, when you interact with other people, if they come to you and make a suggestion and you say, well, you got to just tap into yourself, it becomes so overwhelming, right? To a lot of people, instead of saying, what's one thing that you actually love about yourself, that you love to do, that you really appreciate in this life, and you really really can't go without it. Like I did I did a podcast like a little video the other day, and I was basically saying like, hold on to life just because you like chocolate ice cream, right? So it's like, you know what I mean? Like something as simple as that, right? Can keep you abreast until you find, something else you can attach onto, and then
And you know what? And that is so true, Nathaniel, in the sense that I encourage everyone to always find that song that really, when you hear, everybody should have a song that when they hear that song, they immediately go to a feeling good. Yeah,
like I was dancing when I came on. They should have saw me dancing, but yeah,
yeah,
that's
they
for another
should come
podcast
on,
too.
come
Right?
on, we want to
Nah,
see
nah,
you
nah, nah,
dance
nah, nah.
now.
But I got it. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's that, and it's not even music. It's basically like it's that tempo, right? It's a
It could be
it's
a
a
sound,
tempo.
any sound. It could be the sound of
Yeah.
birds. You know how
No.
I love the sound of
Yeah.
birds.
Yeah. The sound of birds. I'm just saying, like the tempo is like you always got this invisible tempo for your life. Like it's always there. It's always trying to propel you, encourage you. You know what I'm saying? To increase you. You know what I'm saying? The basically whisper sweet nothings in your ears. You know what I mean? Things of that nature. Like it's always there. Like it's like, hey, come on, man, you can do this. You got this. Let's put this together. Let's write this book. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do this here. You know what I'm saying? Let's forgive here and apologize for that. Let's release ourselves. Like let's be free, right? So many things that like even with 2021 and stuff like that. When I saw like a lot of men, going down for like, rape and things of that nature. Wealthy, powerful men and things of that nature. Going to
Mm-hmm.
prison and losing their legacy and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, your beauty for life was to get money, but to do what with it, right? So it's like now all of a sudden you lose your life. You lose that essence. You lose that beauty, you know what I'm saying, that you were striving for. And I believe that that beauty must always be, concentrated on, it always should be like a key point, you know what I'm saying, for your existence. Like every day, like increasing it more and more and more, you know what
So
I'm
what
saying?
you're saying, Nathaniel, is
And
you cannot always see that beauty.
you
Can you
can't
all?
always see it. Because sometimes sometimes you just gotta tap into something to get you to where you gotta go. Right? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like when they say like don't throw the baby out with the bathwater type scenario, right? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You got gorgeous eyes. Every time you go outside, somebody say, "Man, I love your eyes." Right? That's a
Mm-hmm.
beauty, right? That's a
Mm-hmm.
beauty, and other people recognize this beauty as well, not just you. So when you look in the mirror, you might not even look at your eyes until somebody said it, and he said, "Let me go look at my eyes and see." Like, oh,
Oh,
my eyes.
Nathaniel, you
Oh,
know what? Let me
right?
tell you. That was one of the things when I was telling you when I was growing up as a child and people would make fun of me. They would always make fun of my eyes because I have big eyes. And,
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and they would always make fun
yeah.
of my eyes. So I always thought it was something ugly until
Mm-hmm.
one time when I was like 18 or 9, somebody said, "You have pretty eyes." And I was like,
Yep.
That
Yep.
it was a
Yeah,
shocker.
because you need other people, sometimes to actually help you tap into certain things or to even see certain things for you to understand like what I have is essential and it is precious, right?
Right.
And I shouldn't just squander, who I am because of something that society has given me a message, right? So if a
Right.
person says something to you, that's a message. And a lot of times it may be a beneficial one, but it may be a detrimental one. But you got to make an assessment and you got to be able to move past like certain energies like that. But what I'm saying is that's another topic. But I'm saying is like that one little beauty, you know what I'm saying, that you have. Like when I talked to my daughter, I said, "Oh my God, you know what I mean? Don't you see your eyebrows?" And she's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, you're the only woman in my family that has the same eyebrows my mother had, right?" I said,
Mm-hmm.
none of my sisters got it, right? My
Mm-hmm.
first daughter don't have it. It passed on to my second daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I try to show her the beauty of something, even generational beauty. Like, yo, your grandmother had beautiful eyelashes, and now you have them. And look at this. No other woman in the family got it but you. That's a beauty. That's a legacy
Well,
beauty
and
that you
you
can
know what?
say,
It's like,
my
you know what
grandmother had
that's
these lashes.
and you know what that's beautiful, Nathaniel. And that brings me to something that I was thinking earlier, how important it is that we as parents in our children's lives give them
Mm-hmm.
what you just gave your daughter.
Yeah,
That is so important because
yeah,
they may not hear it from anybody else.
that's right. That's right. Because nobody knows to know that beauty, that legacy, and where that legacy come from. Nobody doesn't know that, but you do. So you know what I mean. It's something that you could tap onto, right? Is what I mean. Even for instance, the beauty of your mother or your grandmother, your grandfather, right? It shows like
Right.
wow, my grand. You ever hear like what they call them immigrants, but people come from other countries and you ever hear these stories a lot of times. They would say things like, my father worked 5 jobs, you know what I'm saying? And he did all this stuff to save money for us to come to America, for us to do this. And then there's a high level of respect, you know what I'm saying, for their father,
Right.
right? Because
Right.
he actually took the time out to actually build this infrastructure for them out of love, right?
Right.
And for them, they look at it as a beauty. So they honor their father. They every weekend I go hang out with my dad, take him to baseball games. I do this, I do this, I do that, right? Because of what he set down, right? And what he
Right.
sacrificed for us to be able to come to America, to go to school and become engineers or whatever it is that we're becoming when we come here. But it's because of the things that my father did that allowed me to get to this point right here,
Right.
right?
Right.
So we gotta have those same type of, what I'm saying, legacies for our children as well to even hold on to. Like, you know what I mean? Like somebody might say, "Oh, in your will, why did you leave your favorite scarf, what I'm saying, to your niece?" Right? Yeah, because when my niece look at it, she remembers me. She remembers what
Right.
I went through, my trials and tribulations, right? My
Right.
upheavals, right? And I might have did a whole social media blog on this scar been through me through all these different things, right? So you know what I
Right.
mean? So you know what I'm saying? Right? So it's something to hold on to. I think in a time like this now, especially we dealing with COVID, we're dealing with other type of diseases that's out there. We're dealing with economical, what I'm saying, structures, inflation and things of that nature. And many people are going through changes that they could have never imagined,
Right.
right? And this is a time to say, I'm going through this change, but I have something that's of a greater value than the change that I'm going through.
Right.
And as this or this or that, wherever it may be, it basically varies from person to person. This is when you're dealing with spiritual gurus and you're dealing with religious context and things like that. A lot of times it's not misleading to people. It's just that the message that's being used is not able to reach all people, right?
Right.
So
Right.
the metaphors that the person might be using, what I'm saying, the terminologies, what I'm saying, the inflection of his voice, know what I'm saying, the tones, things like that, may make a determining factor if somebody actually want to follow this person or listen to what this person is saying. It's not saying that what's being said is not true. It's just being that we all relate to messages in a different way and how it's being relayed to us. Like my aunt might say something to me, I'm like, all right, auntie, and my mom might say something, all right, what are you talking about, moms? Right? So it's different with, it depends a lot of times when we interacting with different people
Right.
or different realities of life that we find ourselves, you know what I'm saying, adhering to this or or not.
Right. Right. And you just said something, because a lot of times we will listen to strangers before we listen to the people that are really close to us, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Somebody that's really close to us maybe have been telling us something for years, and then and we never really paid attention to it, but
Hmm.
then here comes along a stranger and say the same thing, and
And
we
you're like,
snap it up.
oh, yeah, and that just shows like a lot of times, going through life, we always find ourselves in different stages, right? So because we always find ourselves in different stages, our awareness peaks at different times, right? You know
Right.
what I mean? So somebody might say something to me now, and it might peak 5 years from now. Like that's what it is, right? 5 years later, right? That's
Right.
how we. That's how we evolve. That's how we move forward. And this is the reason why it's essential for us not to be able to give up easily, or even when we have severe trials and tribulations, to not give up on life and be able to find our ways through all these different mazes, because it's only another interval that we're going through. It's only another time hole, you know what I'm saying, that we're going through. It's only another part of the matrix, so called, that we're experiencing, in our
Right.
lives.
And yeah, I was just saying, one of my clients, last week, I was talking to them about the fact that, the different stages I've been through in my life. And I was telling you about when I was 12 years old, I had contemplated suicide. I contemplated suicide again when I was in my 30s because of the things that I was going through. But I am so happy now that I was able to come up out of that at
Mm-hmm.
12, come up out of that in my 30s, because I am so happy with where I am now. But
Yeah, see, now you're in your 30s, and you just had a beautiful, wonderful 75th birthday, right?
right.
And if in your 30s, if you'd have killed yourself, you
I
know,
know.
you know they, you know what I mean? It's like the next 35, the next 45 years, but like, mom is gone or
I
grandma's
would have
gone,
missed
or you know what
all
I
of
mean? And
that.
all that would have been gone, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like things touch us in life, man. It's like life is like playing tag, right? You always be in touch with something. Somebody's always touching you. You know what I mean? It's like going on a train or going on a bus and say, nobody better not bump into me. You bugging. You looking for a situation. Right? You see what I'm
Yes.
saying? Because it's going to happen. Somebody's
Yes.
going to bump into you on the train, on the bus. If you go to 42nd Street and you try to walk down the block, somebody's going to bump into you too. Why are you bumping into me? Listen, keep it moving, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And
Yes.
don't get stuck, you know what I'm saying, in your tracks and things that have nothing to do with you. A lot of times when we on a path, we don't remember that we're on a path and that other people's on a path as well, right?
Right.
So they may be dropping, you know what I'm saying, they be fused on our path, and we got to be able to see it to navigate around it, right?
Right.
And not get knocked off our path because we're going to bump into the path of other people, right?
Right.
This is what it is, right? It's like being
And
on, it's like,
it's like a building block. Life is like a building block. What happened to
it
me
is,
yes, what happened to
it
me in
is.
my 30s, what happened to me in my 40s, what happened to me in my 50s, 60s. um
60s, see, 70s, right?
right.
All these different variations, and they're all different variations of life. So people say you only live once, where a lot of time that's a lie. We live multiple lives. We live multiple
Yes.
lives within one life. We have multiple lives. You know what I'm saying? We go up and down like a seesaw, right? This is how
Nathaniel,
this is what
that
life
is so
is.
true. Because who I was in my 30s, that was one life.
One life.
I
That's
was
correct.
I was not that in my 40s.
That's right. You was a totally
I,
different person.
different.
Your value
In my
system change.
50s,
Your belief system change. Your principles for life change. Everything starts to change. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying this is a universal thing for all people, but for majority, it is. We all go through different manifestations and evolutionary periods for our lives. You know what I'm saying? To find ourselves in different spaces, some familiar and some are very unfamiliar, right? And
right.
we find ourselves around friends or family members and things of that nature, right? And it just sometimes you may make a decision that can increase you, or one that can actually have very detrimental consequences to it, right? I always talk about my cousin
Yes.
Jerry when I was growing up. My cousin Jerry was the only male figure basically in my life, right? He was
Okay.
my cousin, so but he was my older cousin, but he was my only male figure. So I
Okay.
looked up to him, you know what I mean? So he was a beauty for my life, right? He was some
Okay.
person I really enjoyed for life. You know what I mean? I want to go see my cousin, right? Sometimes I actually
Right.
look forward to, right? And I
Yes.
go walk like 2 or 3 miles just to go see him, you know? And I remember it was a period in his life where he experienced, you know what I mean, with hard drugs. And I told him, I popped up before he did it. I said, don't do it. Don't do it. This is dangerous. And he said, I don't worry about it. I can handle it. And at that period in his life, he believed that he's able to handle it, but he never came out of it,
Oh,
right?
wow. Okay.
He never came out of it. You know what I mean? So it's like when you tapping into things, you know what I'm saying? You got to be really careful of what it is that you looking to lose to tap into something, right? If you say, for instance, you grew up in a Christian family and you say, you know what, I'm going to turn into a Jehovah's Witness, right?
Hmm.
You got to understand there's a lot of dynamics that come with that switch, right? And there's going to be a lot of people that you're going to bump heads with, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to that switch in life, right? And you're going to be, insulted, you know what I'm saying, talked about, you know what I'm saying, shunned, all different things are going to take place because you're changing basically fundamental aspect in society on what it knows you about, right? So a lot
Yeah,
of
and
times,
and when you say that, that's what that happened to me because when I changed, because my father was a Baptist minister, and I when I decided to become Muslim, that's exactly what happened to me. I was all at
mm-hmm,
once,
that's
I'm
it.
outside the family,
You're outside the family, just like that, right?
just like
Because we
that.
get caught up in systems and different levels of normacy that a lot of times people identify us with that, even though we don't identify ourselves with, we're being identified by those things by other people,
Right.
right? So a lot of times when you're looking at identity, you really gotta break it down and find out if the identity is really yours or not, right?
Hmm.
Because that identity can be actually made up of all different fractions of other people, concepts, and things of that nature. Your uncle and your aunt and your cousins and all these different things like that, where you get caught up in some type of fragment, you know what I'm saying, of those different lives that actually basically partake in your own personal life, right? You won't make decisions unless they're in conjunction with those things that actually been laid down to you. So a lot of
You know what?
times,
You're just going all through my life, Nathaniel. Are you sure you said this subject was one? This, because the way you're saying it, you're like you're tapping into my life because that's the title of my book, the first book I wrote. Take Back Your Pen: How to Rewrite Your Life Story, and
yeah,
it is
yeah,
based upon the fact that most of the time the lives that we're living is based on what our fathers and our mothers, our aunts and uncles, and all that
mm-hmm.
they have given us. That
You should put
story.
that book in the feed. You should put that book in the feed. Let people know where to find it at. Right in the feed, Amazon,
Okay,
wherever you
I
got it
am.
at, so people can find
Yeah,
it.
it's on
Because this is
Amazon.
really, yeah, but put it in so people can actually look at it and see it. But see, this is what I'm talking about. Like we're living in life, right? You know what I'm saying? So people say like, "Oh, I'm a part of life." No, we're living in life. You know what I'm saying? Like life
Hmm.
is who we are. Like we are not connected to life, but we are also that expression of what life is on a different level of expression. So there are multiple different levels of expressions in life when we're looking at insects and animals and things of that nature, even molecules and cells and things of that nature. Those also are elements, you know what I'm saying, that's connected to our lives. Right? So we're living a life of purpose because that is the purpose of it, right? Regardless of if we want to adhere to life or not, or we want to accept the principles of life or not, you know what I'm saying, or we want to be a good fruit or a bad fruit in society, it doesn't even matter. What matters is that we have come here as an expression of life, right? And regardless of what we do or what we don't want to do, we can never deny the fact that we have come here as an expression of life, right? Which means that when you walk on a train and the train got 20 people in there and you walk on a train, it's no longer 20 people in there, it's 21 people, right? Because now you have entered the train. You are an expression of life like the other 20 that's in the train. You are also become an expression of life, right? So now you can go on the train, you can just sit down and mind your business, right? You can start dancing, right? You can start singing, right? You can start doing poetry, right? You can start talking about, you can start talking about Christ, right? You can start talking about, you know what I'm saying, Muhammad, right? It's so many different things that you could do with this expression, like when you get on that train, that's unforeseeable, right? What you actually could do when you actually get on that train, right? When you know what I mean, it's so many different things, right? We are that expression of life. The beauty of life is who we are. We are the beauty of life because life has, you know what I'm saying, brought us forth because, you know what I mean, is in love with the beauty of life. And we are a part of that beauty of life that life is in love with, right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Why would it create that which it does not want to create, right? So everything that's created has been created, right? Everything, right? And when we tap into life and see, whoa, what's going on here? We start seeing, what's going on here is that I'm going on here. This is what's going on is me, right? I'm the one that's putting all these things into perspective for my existence, right? And as a purpose, I'm supposed to connect with the other chains of life that I find myself connected to for the purpose of increasing, right? There is no other purpose, right? So if you go and say you join a book club, right? The book club is supposed to increase. This is the point of having a book club. It's supposed to increase, right? If you join in political movements and things of that nature, it's there for it to increase. Why? It's to increase according to the beauty of your life. Your beauty, the essence of your life, that stamp of life that has been given to you, because you have been given a stamp, right? So you've been given a stamp, and now you're gonna go around and you're gonna put your print in different places and different times, right? To know that you was there, and they to know that you was there as well. They're gonna talk about for the next 500 years, right? And some people might do weird things to be remembered, like I'm gonna blow up the building so people can remember my name. And some people might go out there and do speeches and things of that nature, or run for president, or whatever it may be, right? It's different expressions of life, right? And life gives us the approval to have these expressions because it brought us forth for these direct expressions, right? There is no mystery. There is no mystery. There's no happenstance. There's no, I'm gonna come through with a big bang. Okay, even if you say if it's a big bang, in order for a big bang to exist, it must be continuous, right? In order for a big bang to be continuous, it must be seen as a big bang. So every time you turn around, you're gonna hear boom, 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 boom. People are like, what's happening? Oh, evolution taking place. That's the big bang that's doing what it's supposed to do, right? Boom. Oh yeah, that's a new mountain, you know what I'm saying, that took place. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the Big Bang just got rid of dinosaurs. Whatever it is that you want to talk about, right? It has to be in a progressive state, and it has to be connected to life because we are life. We are life. There is no mysteries here. right? There is no, there's no, guru, you know what I'm saying, that you're gonna find that, you know what I'm saying, for life, right?
Right.
There's none of that. There's none of you can't find it because it's not to be obtained, right? The Most High tells you that he cannot be obtained, right? You can't take. He said,
Mhm.
no temple, anything can hold me, right? Which means
Right.
no man of no temple can hold him. How would a man hold him? How would a woman hold him? Right? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So it's being aware that we here for our awareness about what is the beauty of our lives. Like tapping in and saying, my life is valuable. I don't know what was going on before I got down here. I don't even know why I even sit down here, but I'm down here. And I don't know why I'm going through this situation right now, man. But shit, I know I had to go through more than this when I was in a room for 9 months, right?
And,
This
or
woman was
just
moving
trying to get
around.
through it. Right. Just trying to,
Yeah, like
that one little
yeah,
sperm, trying
that
to
one little
fight its
thing, right?
way through all of those
Yeah,
sperms just to come
yeah.
into existence.
But that's right. For 9 months, you eating guacamole. No, I don't like guacamole. I'm always getting sick, right? It's just different things, right, that I had to experience for 9 months,
Oh, and then I had to go
right?
through that birth canal. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And then people had to feed me for mad long. They had to change me, feed me, clean me up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know what's going on then, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like the
Right.
same awareness now when you be so detached from things that you like, I know that it's there, but it's not there, but it's there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? In order for you to have your awareness so you can move forward and not be attached by things. Because no matter how far you become in life, no matter what you become in life, there's always something that's going to be able to attach itself to you, right?
Right.
Like I think I
Right.
told you this a couple months ago. I was highly upset. I was watching TV and it was talking about, I forgot the guy's name, it was a white guy. He was really famous and he met some woman that he likes. It's a huge world. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
you could anywhere you go, you're gonna meet somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Right.
he went out, he met this woman, and he said in his heart of hearts, she is the woman of all women's. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? There's no greater woman like her, right?
Right. Right.
And wound up having a breakup. And because he had this notion, he wound up committing suicide, right?
Wow.
And this guy was famous, he was rich. Woman was pouring out his door, all up in his social media box, like, what's good with you? And he found one woman out of the billions of women in the world that he would kill himself for, right?
Wow.
This is a spiritual
Wow.
thing too, because what does that say? Will you be attached to that person spiritually? If you was to commit an act against yourself for another being, would you be attached to that spirit? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? In a certain
And I
way?
was asking someone that the other day, if
Yeah.
someone was not in their life, would they still be able to keep going if that
Yeah, would
person
they be
was
able to
no
keep
longer
going?
there?
If they was no longer there, because those are the questions that you have to ask yourself, and those are the questions that have to resonate within you alongside with the answers, right?
Right.
I'm saying you can't wait into that time to find out if you can live without the person or not, because you know what I mean. That's when you're going to get hit the most. You know what I'm
Right.
saying,
Right.
and people do take control over the lives and directions of other people, whether they realize it or not. A lot of times we believe that we're so infamous, we're so profound in what we do. You know what I'm saying? That we create an illusion. You know what I'm saying? That we
Mhm.
cannot be deceived by others. We cannot be tricked by others. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That others cannot misdirect us. Those are things are lies. If people couldn't
Mhm.
misdirect us and things like that, and things like that, deceive us, manipulate us, none of those things would be in the dictionary. We wouldn't even know about those concepts because
Right.
we'd be
Right.
immune to them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So evidently,
Right.
we're not immune to deception. We're not immune, you know what I'm saying, to manipulation, deceit, because has been shown throughout history that deceit has destroyed many
Look,
men.
we've
That
been
manipulation
deceived
has
our
destroyed.
whole lives. We've
See,
been
see,
deceived our whole.
see, yeah. So don't try to say, oh, if somebody see you stupid. No, learn from your mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Move on and keep it moving. You went through this pain. You went through this suffering. We all going through different pains and different levels of suffering on many different scales. right?
Right.
It might only happen to you once a year. It might happen to somebody once a month, right? We don't know, right? We all live in just this basically fabric, you know what I'm saying, that
Yes.
we call life, and we want to stretch this fabric out as far as possible. You know what I'm saying, to get our life's worth out of life. You know what I'm saying? Basically. You know what I'm saying, we want to be a part of this fabric, you know what I'm saying, that we call life, even when we're no longer here. That's why we actually run around having legacies, having children, right? Because we still want to stand, you know what I'm saying, in life, you know what I'm saying, life, you know what I mean, design to know that we was here, right?
That's
It's
right.
like going to Hollywood
That's
and
the
looking at a
beauty of
store and say, oh
life.
my God,
That's the
that's the
beauty of
beauty of
life.
life. See, this is the beauty of life, right? So it's understand that, yeah, we're going to go through so many different phases. And some of these phases, it's like, I don't see a way out of it, right? It's like, it's just too much. I don't even know what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, I don't know what's going on, and that's okay. It's okay to know that I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean?
That's
And I'm
right.
just going to sit right here, you know what I'm saying, knowing I don't know what's going on, and allow me to come to an awareness about what's
That's
actually
where
what I need
gratitude
to
comes
understand or what I
in.
need to go through to get to where I got to go,
That's a
right?
good point
Because
to focus
yeah,
on
because
gratitude.
because no man is a mountain, right? And men think that, you know, every man is you know, here look up to another man and say, oh, he's doing so great in life, right? And he might have a reason to do so great in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might have to go and get a lot of money because he doesn't have the equipment to interact in a relationship the way he's supposed to, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna use my money as an extension of who I am, right? You know,
Right.
I done heard a song from Fabulous saying, you know, men hide behind the money, right? Yeah, you taking your money and you using it and you hiding behind the money, so nobody can't see you because they can't get to you because the money is in front of you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, you know, you always use your money, you know what I'm saying, as that identifier, you know what I'm saying, for who you are, right?
Right.
So if money becomes the beauty of your life, understand this, you can never lose money if money becomes the beauty of your life. Because what's going to replace money as the beauty for your life,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Tapping into things. I remember doing a presentation at one time. It was some older people. You know, I was young at the time, so they was like 50, whatever, 60. And I was basically having a discussion as far as, you know, trying to control the dynamics, you know what I'm saying, of life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was showing where I gave a scenario where you have a daughter and she's 16 and you got a strict dress code, you know, and she don't want to follow that dress code. So she
Mm-hmm.
wears the dress code when she leave out the house, but when she, you know, she meet her friends, she changed her clothes. You know what I mean? And then when she come home, she come
That
back
was
with
me. That was
the,
me
the
too,
strict
Nathaniel.
the
But go
strict
ahead.
dress code, right? And the woman was like, she was like, what? She said, are you telling me that even when I think I got control, I don't have control? I said, yes, because you're dealing with an element of life. Your daughter is a life force. She's going to do what she want to do when she want to do it or how she want to do it, and she's going to face the consequences or not on as far as what's happening and how she want to perceive her life and which way she want to
Right.
go on her life.
Right.
I said, don't take on the precedence that you are in control of another being, because you're not.
That's
You
right.
wish them the best. You want to guide them in the right direction, but you are not the God,
That you
right?
only have control when they allow you to get
Yeah,
that. I
you're
mean,
not
if
even
they
the
don't
God of
allow you,
you.
right?
A lot of times you can't even guide you. How you turn around and you guide others, right?
Right.
How do you do it? You got men and women that, like, for instance, Elvis Presley's daughter died the other day, right?
Right.
It's an iconic woman, right? She died the other day with heart attack, something like that. Young, right?
Mm-hmm.
But her son died last year from suicide,
That's
right?
right. That's
And I
right.
never even saw that. I never even knew that, right? So that was like the best kept secret or something like that. You know what I mean? But now she leaves behind a legacy of what, 3 daughters? You know what I'm saying? They got to walk, and understand that they lost their mother, they lost their father, they lost their brother, right? And now they got to find life. They got to find beauty in their life. You know what I'm saying? And what they could attach on to for they could keep on moving because they just experienced a great loss. You know what I'm saying? At an early age in their lives. So now, what do I need to attach myself to so I can continue to move on and live life? You know what I'm saying? So I know that I enjoyed the expressions of it. And didn't take it for granted. And didn't say that it has no value and it has no worth. I'm saying that it has meaning because I made it have meaning. I did meaningful things in my life. Right? I challenged myself. I pushed myself. I motivated myself. I'm saying I cried at night when no one's around so I can get those feelings, you know what I'm saying, impurities out of me. I can continue to move forward, you know what I'm saying, into my light, into my righteous light, whatever it may be, whatever pursuit that I'm actually taking, right? I have to tap into that cortex because I'm so important that who else is going to tap into it for me, right? I got to be the one to tap into it. It's for me. You know what I'm saying? I got the chisel. You know what I'm saying? I got the chisel with the hammer. I gotta make this shit happen.
That's
no one else is gonna come and make it happen. Who's gonna come and grab a chisel out of my hand? Who's gonna come and take the hammer and do the work for me? Right? Even if men have the building blocks, even if men have the blueprint for you to use to build your life, many will not give it to you.
That's right.
They will die with the blueprint, you know what I'm saying, in a safe deposit box. And if you donate it to charity before they give it to you. Right? So a lot of times we got to understand the beauty of life is us. It's a thing that we can find beauty in other people. You know what I'm saying? As you and I, as we connect together. However, those people have to have that same type of beauty for you. Right? I had a brother reach out to me the other day and he was just inquiring about who I am and stuff like that. What I'm doing and stuff like that. And I was telling him, and I said something to him, and we was conversating, but when I said the last thing to him, he didn't respond. I asked him how he was doing. He said something, and I said, make sure that you surround yourself around men that love you, even in your greatest fall, right? And he became quiet because I used to be a part of their groups and stuff like that, and I'm no longer connected to those things. But I tell him that, make sure that when you connect yourself to something that it has a beauty for you as well. Like, it also wants to be able to cultivate you and increase you and not just you it. Right. So that's the whole thing.
Right.
And he didn't say anything. So I understand that he maybe also going through these certain similar challenges of actually linking yourself to principled men without that, with the absence of love. Right. So it's like you don't want to link yourself to any beings in the land if it's not connected, you know what I'm saying, within the realms of love.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Because I say always that you want for your brother what you want for yourself. And in the Holy Quran, it says, you have passed from death to life.
Yeah.
You want for your brother what you want for yourself.
That's true, man. I mean, because I was just looking at that scenario, you never see two trees fighting because one bear more fruit than the other. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Only time they connect with each other probably is when a storm or something like that forces them into each other. You know what I'm saying? Right. But they also, in that storm, they also stop each other from actually falling. You know what I'm saying? In certain instances.
Right.
It's really important to know that life has a beautiful element to it at all times, and that beautiful element is you. You know what I'm saying? You are that connected to all the things that's out there, right? And you're not gonna find anything great in you. You know what I'm saying? It's just not gonna happen. I don't care about your money, your cars, your possessions, none of those things that you obtain and that come into your life is gonna be great in you. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that ship that sails in the ocean. Eventually, you ain't gonna see it. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things is those things, as you accumulate them, you no longer see them. And that's what I mean. You know what I'm saying? So you cannot identify yourself by those things because once you accumulate them, they don't no longer have to be accumulated. So they're no longer of the desire.
Right.
You only miss them. You're only going to miss the thing that famous vase you brought if somebody come and take it. Every
Yes.
day you're not gonna come and say my vase. Where I love seeing you every day and start hugging and kissing it, right? No, right? You gonna buy that vase. You're gonna walk by it, you know what I'm saying? Every day, every day. You might have some guests on, but like, look at my nice little vase. Like, it's from the 16th century and this kingdom or something like that. But you're not gonna pay attention to it until somebody come and
Right.
take and say, "What happened to my vase?" Now all of a sudden, the vase is the most important thing in the world because you know what I mean.
Now it's gone.
Yeah. Now it's gone because like, and I know we gotta go, but it's like Christ said, if you got
Yes.
1,000 sheep and one was to move away, you're gonna go try to find the one. So when you get into the spirit of loss, you want to find that thing of loss so it can actually complete you because you was using those things for your substance.
Yes. Thank you, Nathaniel, for the beauty of life. Thank you. I am grateful to have been able to spend this time with you. And so we're going to just take a moment to relax and be thankful for where we are and just relax and go into a peaceful frame of mind. Thank you, everyone, for being with us this week. If you are in a safe place, please close your eyes. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath to the count of 4. Let it out through your mouth like you're blowing through a straw. Take a deep breath. Let it out slow. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Relax the top of your head. Relax your face. Relax your neck, your shoulders. All the time breathing, taking a deep breath, letting it out slowly. Relax your arms, your fingers. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Come on down your body, relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. Relax your legs. Come on down your legs. Relax. Relax your toes. Wiggle your toes. Relax. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. I am going to count 5 backwards, and we're going to take a deep breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Take a deep breath and let it out slow. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Peace.
Peace and blessings to next time, guys. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
That's right.